The United States is the most influential, the most powerful country in the United Nations. That is why I appeal to you, Mr. Richards.
Well, how exactly do you want us to help, may I?
We would like you to sponsor and help set up a special UN committee to assist Japan.
As I understand it, you've tried appealing directly to several countries already. Now, you want the United States to help convince all countries that finding homes for your millions of people is an international responsibility.
Yes, that is so.
Would you tell me that our Department of Immigration is still processing your request, and that the other agencies are still hard at work on all your appeals? Don't you think you've sort of jumped the gun a little by coming to me now?
The water is rising. Every day that action is delayed, thousands less people will be saved. I cannot take the time to think about formalities, Mr. Richards. We have known each other for many years. I know you to be a concerned and sympathetic person, that you will listen to me and help in any way you can.
Of course I will. And I thank you for your confidence in me. Let's think about the overall problem. Let's consider the consequences to a country which agrees to accept, say, 1 million refugees. You'd have to provide food, shelter, clothing, medical supplies.
We aren't asking you for food and shelter, only for some dry land to escape to.
But the danger to your country seems so remote, Mr. Narita.
Perhaps you could have your own team of scientists come over to investigate and validate our findings. I assure you, they will discover that this is not simply a Japanese problem, that it is not all that remote.
What do you mean?
The tidal waves that threaten to destroy Japan are the result of changes in the Earth's crust at the floor of the Pacific Ocean. These changes could affect your own Pacific coast as well.
Ah, yes. Now, that sounds familiar. You see, our astrologers have been predicting for years that California would crumble into the ocean.
Yes, some of our own astrologers and mystics predicted the same thing for us.
Now, there you see, we need more concrete facts than the mystics have been giving us. Let's see if the scientists can come up with more thorough information. I'll look into the matter immediately.
Well, do you think, then, that we can count on the United States to help us?
Well, things may move along very slowly at first. But once the facts, as you've been telling them to me, are established officially, I think they'll move very quickly.
Whereas its population is only 25 million. Now, according to this news...
A result of negotiations between the Japanese government and the governments of other countries so far is this. Government-sponsored immigration of 7,800,000 to 21 countries, with personal immigration amounting to 600,000. Only 8,400,000 have places to go. The rest of the population, 101,600,000, can't get off the sinking islands. Concerning places for temporary evacuation, let's hear from Mr. Richards of the United States.
We've now heard several delegates express the reservations their countries have about accepting large numbers of Japanese immigrants. All this is quite understandable. We're being called upon to make an extraordinary effort. But this is a situation unlike any experienced by modern man. The United Nations has functioned well and efficiently when called upon to bring relief to countries scourged by war, by famine, by earthquake, flood. But those were situations in which we extended our generosity at a distance. Now an entire nation is losing its very land. And we must summon up a stronger and even greater spirit of self-sacrifice, for we're being called upon to open our very homes, as it were, to these people. And this is not just a matter of giving shelter to a few thousand people. It's a matter of saving millions of lives. Japan is quite literally a sinking ship. We must provide her with lifeboats or her people will drown. Now, let me point out that this subterranean crisis is something that could occur again at any place, at any time. So we must meet this situation not just for the sake of Japan, but for the sake of the world. An extraordinary effort by many nations has been made so far. At least 34 million lives have been saved. An even greater effort on the part of all nations is now needed. Most of the ports have been destroyed, and rescue operations have to be carried out by airlift procedures.
What is the time limit of termination for the rescue mission?
Eugene Cox of the United States Geodetic Mission has come here today to address you on that question.
Well, there's something extraordinary here. Something I don't understand.
I must find her. Can't leave Japan without Reiko. I'll save everyone else I can till I find her.
That's quite a story, isn't it?
This young man seems as desperate as the Prime Minister. Like a kamikaze pilot. Thousands upon thousands of young Japanese people like him will be spending the next few years searching at their loved ones. It all happened so quickly. Who's there to take any notes of anything? You know, a young man is uprooted, finds himself in China. Another one finds himself in Africa. Third one here in the United States. The world has never seen a migration like this. 34 million people.
When will it end?
Oh, the rescue mission will end any day now. There are only a few islands, small ones, still left above water. But as for the resettling of people, this is only the beginning.